The Pieces I Am is a documentary that provides an intimate and comprehensive exploration of the life and literary legacy of Toni Morrison, one of the most influential American authors. The film unfolds as a reflective journey, intertwining Morrison's personal narrative with her groundbreaking contribution to literature. It traces her upbringing in a racially segregated Ohio, highlighting the early influences that shaped her worldview. The narrative navigates through pivotal moments in Morrison's career, from her role as an editor at Random House to the publication of her acclaimed novels such as Beloved and Song of Solomon. Through a series of interviews with Morrison herself, as well as fellow writer, editor, and cultural figure, the documentary shed light on her unapologetic approach to storytelling, her commitment to uplifting the African American experience, and the challenges she faced as a shining African American female writer. As the film delved deeper into Morrison's life, it captured her unyielding spirit, resilience, and the profound impact of her work on American literature and cultural discourse. Viewers witnessed the unfolding of a narrative that transcends the boundary of biography, becoming a celebration of Morrison's enduring legacy and the exploration of the universal theme woven into her novel: love, identity, race, and the complexity of the human experience. The Pieces I Am is not just a portrait of a literary icon. It is a testament to the power of storytelling to shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Welcome to Learning from the Masters. I am Obehi Ewanfoh, author of the Storytelling Mastery, a 5-part book series that takes you by the hands through the journey of storytelling. This series is dedicated to some of the greatest masters out there who have done their best and have left behind their masterpieces for us to learn from while refining our own skills. To learn more, join our Storytelling Mastery for businesses at academy.aclasses.org/storytelling mastery. You can also pick up any of the 5 books on aclasses.org or any other place you prefer online. Now back to the presentation. Now here are the 7 lessons from the film and how beginners can replicate the lessons in their own work. Make sure you pay attention to every single one of them because they are valuable. Lesson 1. Embrace your root. Take a cue from Morrison's journey. She embraced her African American heritage, weaving its rich fabrics into her story. In The Pieces I Am, she talks about how her culture wasn't a limitation but a source of strength. Dive into your own root, explore the nuances of your heritage, and let them infuse life into your narrative. One real instance is Morrison's novel Beloved, which draws heavily from the history of slavery and African American experiences, showcasing the power of embracing one's cultural background. Application in your storytelling: start by delving into your own cultural background. Explore the story, tradition, and history that shape your identity. Infuse your narrative with the richness of your heritage, whether it's through family anecdote, local customs, or personal experiences. Let your root be the foundation of your storytelling. Number 2, speak your truth unapologetically. Morrison was unafraid to tackle uncomfortable truth. She encouraged storytellers to be bold and speak their truth authentically. In the film, she emphasized the importance of not shying away from difficult topics and confronting them head-on. Application in your storytelling: don't hold back. Your perspective is unique and authentically resonate. So tackle subjects that matters to you, even if they are uncomfortable. Share your truth, fear, and joy. In doing so, you will create a genuine connection with your audience. Lesson 3, create multidimensional character. Morrison stresses the importance of creating character with depth and complexity. In the documentary, she highlights the need to avoid stereotype and present character with a range of emotion and experiences. And if you have checked out my 5-part book series, The Storytelling Mastery, you understand how much importance I place on the character, because character is the foundation of your story. People cannot understand what is happening in your story until they can connect to the character. And before they can connect to the character, you need to create a multi-dimensional character, not just a superficial character, but a character that have the characteristics of human being. And it works better if those characteristics relate to the people that you are targeting. Because before you start telling your story, you know who you are telling this story to. If you know who you are addressing in your story, and you manage to make sure that the element in these characteristics of a person who is representing them in the story is something that they can relate to, then it becomes easier for them to relate to the story. Unlike maybe when the character is too high or too low, or is somebody they cannot relate to, then it is difficult for them to relate to such individual. So it is very important that the character that you create in your story is like or represent or look like in a way the people that you are addressing in your story. This way, the people can relate to such individual and therefore root for that character, and that make your story powerful. What is your application in storytelling? Make sure your character feel like real people. Give them dream, flaw, and quick. So that you need to avoid stereotype and bring depth to their personality. Draw inspiration from people you know or observe in your everyday life. Of course, you are not living inside a rock. There are people all around you. There are people you like, and there are people you don't like. In your storytelling, you don't necessarily need to put only the people you like. Sometimes there are the people you don't like. There are the people that are perfect. There are also others that are not that perfect. In your story, make sure that all these are reflected. You were a child of somebody, you have brother, you have sister, you grew up in a place. There are elements that you can draw from there to make your story more human. So create a multi-dimensional character, a person who is not only good or only bad. Make sure you bring the different element of a human being that make him or her a human being. That is fundamentally important. Now, lesson 4, find beauty in the ordinary. Now, the mundane can be a wellspring of inspiration. In the ordinary life, there is a lot of inspiration that you can draw from it. It's all about the lesson. What lesson can you learn? Or can you help your audience to learn from the story that you are sharing? So, Morrison found beauty in everyday life and encourages storyteller to do the same. In the film, she mentioned the importance of capturing the ordinary moment that resonate with universality. Now, again, in storytelling, I want to really point out, in Obehi podcast, for example, when I bring individual in to interview them, I'm not really looking for things that are out of this world. I'm looking for ordinary people who talk about ordinary life. What have you done? Where did you grow up? What have been your experiences growing up? Now, why are you doing what you are doing? What are the relevance of that to you, your vision, your world view? You see, all these are things that anybody can do. Wherever you are coming from, wherever you are, and whatever you do have a motivation for doing what you are doing. Irrespective of who you are, you came from somewhere, you have a world view, you understand why you are doing what you are doing. You were a child one day, you had a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a community. You have people that like you, you have people that don't like you. You don't need to be special to have these characteristics. So from ordinary life, you can create something that is actually extraordinary, because now you shape it for people to understand. So like Morrison did, you too can find extraordinary thing in ordinary life. That is because many people ignore the ordinary. They are looking for the extraordinary. And by you proposing ordinary to them now, it becomes extraordinary because they don't have time for the ordinary. So that, I don't know if that sort of gets you messed up, but that is actually what it is. You need to pay attention to what is around you. The information is right in front of you. Don't ignore it looking for where the pasture is greener. It's also green where you are. The story around you is important. Your point of view is important. The way you see it is important. Pay attention to that. Rather than saying, oh, I'm not like them, I'm not where they are. No, leave those that are there to talk about what is happening there. Talk about what is near you. That can be all you really need to do. Now, what is the application in your storytelling? Train your eyes to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Capture the small detail that makes your story relatable, whether it's a sunrise, whether it's a shared meal, it's a quiet conversation in your workplace, the people you are seeing around you, the woman that you helped just now, the person that greeted you. This moment can add depth and resonance to your story because you are talking about human being, and human beings do things or relate to other human beings that look like them. What is lesson 5? Weave intergenerational story. And this is very important. Yesterday we did an audio event about diaspora storytelling, and the title was Intergenerational Story. How to build unity among African diaspora, leveraging the power of intergenerational story. And this is a very important conversation in that we need to connect among ourselves as people of African descent, lay emphasis on leveraging the power of intergenerational stories. Because there are stories of our people, of our ancestors, of people who have been here before us, who have done something. It is because of them that we are here. We are not here because we are very intelligent, because we are too smart, because we jumped down from the sky, because we are product of missionary charity. We are here because one day there was a man and a woman who live in a community, they fell in love, they had a child. We are children of those people. So what is the story of those people? Why did they do what they did? What have been their journey? What can we learn from them? What have been their sacrifices? That is important. So by talking about intergenerational story, we are talking about the story of our father, our father's father, and the father of those fathers. Those are the story of real people, real human beings who made real sacrifices, for which reason we are here today. So make sure you connect the past, present, and the future in your story. Morrison believed in the power of intergenerational storytelling, which is something fundamental for the African diaspora. She emphasized the impact of story on the present and the importance of shaping the future through narrative. Now, how can you apply that in your storytelling? Well, make sure you connect your story across time. Explore how the past influences the present and shapes the future. Consider family history, tradition, and the impact of generational experiences. This interweaving add layer to your storytelling. Now, let me share something with you. In one of our projects, which we actually call Life and Legacy, we interview people of different background, particularly of African descent, of course, because we are trying to look at how our story connects us. And this is important because we want to learn from those who have been here before us. Because like I'm saying, we are not product of that were generated from the computer. We are children of people. Who are these people? What can we learn from them? It is when we learn from them, they are medicine. Yesterday, I was sharing in our audio room of how my grandmother, because I grew up with my grandmother, used to collect different herbs, also 30 of them from our local forest, and she will use it to prepare medicine. So that by the time she boils this medicine and you drink it, whatever is your sickness, you will be healed. African traditional medicine don't heal just the eyes or the nose, they heal the entire human body. But how do we know this if we don't tell their story? If we don't weave intergenerational story, if we don't learn about them, we cannot know those stories. So storytelling helps us to understand how they have resolved their own problem, because they also had problems that they dealt with. And one person was saying yesterday that the way we are being configured based on our encounter with the European is that somehow we are exposed to information which help us to understand that we are inferior. We have nothing to be proud of. In fact, we should be ashamed of ourselves. And by doing this, we cannot find solution to our problem. Anytime we are in difficulty, we ask people from outside to come and help us. And that is part of the design, in that we are incapable of finding a solution to our problem because we don't know our story. It is when we know our story that because I grew up with my grandmother, I knew that she could go into the forest and prepare medicine that she used to heal me, heal herself, and also other people around her. What is lesson number 6? Well, challenge conventional narrative. Morrison challenged conventional storytelling norms. Like her too, you can break free from stereotype and formulate plots. In the documentary, she talks about her desire to create literature that disrupt mainstream expectation. And that is a great message for people of African descent, in that our narrative must be from us, about us, and our perspective in the world. How do we see the world? And we must never see the reality through the lenses of other people. That is fundamentally important. And what is the application? Don't be afraid to break the mold. Break the stereotype. Experiment with storytelling format and structure. Challenge stereotype and norms in your own narrative. Push the boundary to create something fresh and unexpected. That is why you are a storyteller. You are telling story, giving people a frame of reference. So don't be afraid to give them a fresh look, a fresh perspective. This is probably why you are here. Number 7, persist in the face of adversity. You see, Morrison's journey was filled with challenges, yet she persisted. In the pieces I Am, she shared insight into her resilience. For beginner storyteller, this lesson is crucial. Face rejection, learn from criticism, and keep refining your craft. One day, you will become a professional storyteller because you are continuously refining your craft. Now, what is the application in your storytelling? Well, rejection and setback are part of the journey. I want to repeat that again. If you want to be a successful storyteller, bear in mind that rejection and setback are part of the package. So learn from criticism, but don't let it deter you. Don't be stopped. If you know where you are going, every obstacle on your way becomes your way. But if you don't know where you are going, if you are not determined, every obstacle on your way is there to put an end to your journey. Stay committed to refining your craft. Keep writing, editing, and improving. Persistence pays off in the world of storytelling, and that is exactly true. So always remember that your voice matters and your story has the power to resonate across generations. So go for it with story that echoes the heartbeat of your people and your community. This is probably the best use of your storytelling skill. Good luck. To learn more, join our storytelling mastery for businesses at academy.aclasses.org/storytelling.